Standing here just on the edge of this officially announced as Noah's Ark by the Turkish government. Tons of research done on it, lots of dismissal saying it's a geological formation. And how come they found all this petrified wood and metal and other such things here? So we're standing here just on the edge of this so-called Noah's Ark. It looks like it's a basalt formation according to geologists, but I think there's a kind of sense of like something strange going on here. Why has this shape occurred in the landscape when it's the same length, like 300 cubits or Royal Egyptian cubit, 500 feet or 515, including the end bits? And how come they found all this petrified wood and metal and other such things here? And the fact it's kind of just here, I mean, why not somewhere completely different else, you know, another part of the world, another part of the country? Yeah, this is controversial to say the least, but this is a site it's near Mount Ararat, so it's near Van or Lake Van in eastern Turkey, almost going towards Armenia. Really, we were actually, this was part of our tour we did in September. We're doing this kind of eastern Turkey, Garden of Eden kind of tour, and this is the biblical location of where Noah's Ark was supposed to have landed in the biblical tradition. This is it, on the edges of Mount Ararat. This isn't actually on Mount Ararat itself, it's on the next bunch of mountains just next to it, and you can literally see Ararat just behind it. There was a researcher back in the 70s, did a whole thing about it, claimed it was Noah's Ark. Some people say it's just what's left of a geological anomaly, which you get, you know, these strange shapes that look like kind of almonds, or, you know, like this kind of shape, like a Vesica Pisces, the middle of a Vesica Pisces thing. And but it's huge. And Ron White, he was there in the 70s and 80s doing a ton of research. He claims to have found wood, like rotted wood or fossilized wood. He even claims to have found metal particles as well. And he found all this other evidence that the measurements, the placement of it and everything else proving it was Noah's Ark. It even went through the government officials, and they agreed it was Noah's Ark and did a big opening, created a visitor centre there, which you can still visit, all the photos and everything that's up there. And they still, a lot of people still think it's really Noah's Ark, but we had a geologist with us and he was saying no, he doesn't think so. It's a very unusual geology which just happens to match the dimensions of Noah's Ark in the Bible. So there's still controversy about it. Some people still claim it is the remains, the remnants of Noah's Ark. Others say no, it's geology, but the jury's out. But we had to go there and have a look. It really is compelling because it's like, firstly, you're in this biblical area, you know, it really is the Bible area. This is it. This is like Garden of Eden. This is where Noah's Ark landed, the floods receded and everything else. And so, you know, it kind of brings out this kind of magic when you're there, because you get this real sense of these biblical traditions, but at the same time, your scientific brain kicks in and you're kind of asking many, many hard questions, trying to get your head around it. But yes, fascinating place. I mean, if you do go to Ararat or you do go to Van, it's worth the effort to get up and have a look for yourself and make up your own mind. There's Andrew, there's some of our crew. They're walking along the edge of the Noah's Ark formation here. So it's not the lower one here, it's the one just up there. It goes all the way across. You can see where it sticks up there. And then you've got the guys trying to get down from it, and then you've got Mount Ararat kind of over in the distance behind those trees. I kind of kept a kind of open mind and sort of was feeling the magic of the place a little bit, because there was something special about that whole area, having never been there before. And there's also nearby, there's some of these standing stones that are called the anchor stones. And these are found in the local villages. They're now used as gateposts. Some are in the middle of village squares. And these are quite large stones, a few feet tall, with holes carved through them. So people believed, Ron Wyatt, one of them, that these were the anchors of Noah's Ark. That's why they got the name the anchor stones. But they're also, if you go back, these are also traditional Armenian gravestones. That's one of the other associations with them. You actually find similar things like that at the site called Karahunj in nearby Armenia, which is a massive stone circle complex with avenues coming off it over the border in Armenia. So yeah, there's debates about all the different aspects of this, but it's a fascinating area. Really interesting perspective here. We're kind of down at the base of it. You can kind of see the shaping of it behind me. Obviously the aerial shots give a much better perspective, but I'm just fascinated by this. Is to come to this biblical kind of part of the landscape here in Turkey, officially announced as Noah's Ark by the Turkish government. Tons of research done on it, lots of dismissal saying it's a geological formation. But yeah, it's just fascinating to be here and witness something so majestic. So there we have Mount Ararat with a strange green formation. Then we have this. You've got a really good view of it just from down here. You can actually sort of see the shape of the so-called boat or ship of Noah. Absolutely fascinating. It's a really interesting perspective just to be able to see it from the base, the lower kind of front of the so-called Noah's Ark or the geological formation. Yeah, it's a difficult one. I mean, it's like one of them places that, I mean, half the guests really liked it when they were on our tour. The other half were going, "Why are we here, Hugh? Really?" So there's like a bit of a kind of split when it comes to visiting sites where it's that controversial. But I've got to be honest with you, if you're gonna, it's worth going anyway because it's a beautiful area. You get to see so much more in the general area. Next time we're going to go and find the anchor stones, actually have a look at them, because even if they're just megaliths with holes carved in them like Armenian gravestones, are very, very interesting nonetheless. But yeah, I mean, you look at the evidence, you look at all the data Ron Wyatt and others have put together since I think Ron Wyatt passed a few years ago, and it's compelling. You have to admit it is a compelling story, and it's lots of little very unusual coincidences kind of linking up, if it isn't Noah's Ark. So yeah, it's well worth checking out. But anyway, I wanted just to show you this quickly. We got permission, we got a couple of aerial shots of it, so I'll show you it from above and let us know what you think in the comments, because it is an absolutely fascinating, beautiful place. And of course we've got Mount Ararat just over there, this whole biblical Garden of Eden area where this is located. Of course you can join us here every September where we come back, we go to Göbekli Tepe, Karahantepe, and then go full Eastern Turkey tour. And it's incredible, this landscape, the incredible part of this whole biblical Garden of Eden area. So hope you enjoyed our quick look at Mount Ararat's Noah's Ark, and we'll see you next time, Megalithomaniacs.